Welcome in. This is Brett from Grandpa's Treasure Shop, back at it with another Market Watch. Today, a lot of crazy things are happening. We're going to talk about with the announcement of new Dark Magician support, where it actually might be a viable contender in the meta. We're going to talk about some of the cards that you might want to consider picking up now before these cards start going up. The first one that's already started going up, but I think there's a lot of future potential with this card, is Magician Salvation. Looking at the chart here, it started pretty low on the chart, $4 for the card. Now, this card is over $10. So let's think about it. The fact that this card broke double digits when this card was $4 on release says something, right? I speak numbers, and so do the charts. Like, this card is scarce. There's only 2 pages of this card. And quickly at the bottom of this page, it goes up to $15. What could this card cap out at? $20? There's no way. There's no way. I think this card, it could reach around $20 if it experiences a buyout. Guys, we have so much time from now until the Dark Magician support gets released. At least probably end of the year or beginning of next year, I would guess, because I don't even think it's out in the OCG yet. But nonetheless, think about it. With us having a gap of time, and so many people love Dark Magician, just like so many people love Blue Eyes. The Blue Eyes stuff went crazy. And think about all the price spikes that happened when Blue Eyes was coming out with the structure deck. It's the same thing here. We have so much time to prepare for Dark Magician that you don't want to wait until the last minute and then end up running a risk of overpaying. I'm just here to give you guys value. This is not official financial advice, but hey, this is solely based on my opinion, but I'm just trying to provide as much value as possible. So next, we're going to talk about Artemis, the Magistus Moon Maiden, QCR. Now, anybody that has kind of dabbled in Dark Magician decks know that all this card takes is a Link 1, and Link 1s are powerful. Is 1 level 4 lower spellcaster monster. So you could easily use Magician Rod, Magician Souls to link off into this card. I think it's a good option. This card has already started going up a bit. It was around a little over $6, and now we see it's quickly approaching. You're paying over $10 with shipping. Now, if we're looking at reputable sellers, and there goes Hani again, shout out to my boy, you're paying for about $12 for this card right now, and there's only 3 pages, and this is only going to get more scarce the closer we get, because think about it. All Dark Magician decks play this card. It's a Link 1 for spellcasters. So, just another piece of advice. Next, we're going to talk about preparation of rites. This is a huge one. Why do I say this is a huge one? Most decks that play preparation of rites usually play it at 3, if I'm just being frank with you. But also, how does this tie into Dark Magician support? Well, Illusion of Chaos. It just speeds up the deck. Sure, if you're a competitive player, you might say, oh, it plays in a droll. Who cares, man? Who cares? People don't care that much about that right now. People are thinking about how they can facilitate this engine the most proficient way. And Preparation of Rites at 3, as well as 3 Illusion of Chaos, that's just a pseudo, speed template for your deck. This card has honestly tanked. The fact that you can get this card at $7 almost is crazy, especially compared to future pricing. If this card is a prevalent card in Dark Magician, which I think this would be a viable option if I'm being honest, to be able to basically run 6 copies of Illusion of Chaos, which searches you any Dark Magician card from your deck. Think about it. That's just crazy. And then we're going to talk about fusion deployment next. Now, why do I have fusion deployment on this list? Think about it. Dark Magician. It literally summons Dark Magician. I'm not a competitive player anymore by any means. I haven't been in tune with competitive play. I just know the charts and the market, and that's all I pay attention to nowadays. And I personally think whatever version of Dark Magician ends up being the most optimized version, if you ask me, and like I said, I'm not in the competitive play, but I'm almost for certain they're going to play fusion deployment. Like, if you ask me, why wouldn't they? I mean, I guess if they're playing like, a crazy like Link or XYZ engine, maybe not. But with the new fusion card that's coming out, I mean, Dark Magician's probably going to be a more fusion-oriented deck, if I had to guess. So the restriction of being locked into fusion summoning isn't going to really matter that much if it is just solely a fusion-based deck. So, I mean, look at this. This card is like, you can get it for less than $12. Man, I got to shout out to them for grinding. If you're looking for stuff, go to their page because they look to be the cheapest, if not equal pricing as the lowest sellers. But yes, this is actually cheap. This card is so cheap right now. And think about it. Let's say this card is prevalent in Dark Magician, just like Preparation of Rites, cards that just facilitate the engine. They're going to play this at 2 or 3. More than likely, 3. I mean, it's a hard once per turn, so I could see playing 2. I'm not in a competitive play once again, but 2 to 3 copies is what my best guess would be for this card. So next, we're going to talk about the monster himself, Illusion of Chaos. This card is one that I think has the utmost potential, out of a lot of the Dark Magician cards or support, because this card is played at 3. Like, this searches any Dark Magician card. And if you draw, like, let's say 2 hand traps, you get to just stack your deck with a hand trap to the top. One that you can't use twice in one turn. You know what I mean? Like, this card right here is too cheap. I think this card has possibly, if I had to give a range, probably between $30 to $50 potential. I mean, look at how many pages. There's only 4 pages. If people are sliding in on this just to cop like 3 of these, man, all it takes is one person. Just boop. This guy right here has 3 quantity. Most have 1. So boom, boom, boom. 2 people wipe out all these listings right here. And then we're quickly just going down to 3 pages. So think about it. Illusion of Chaos, keep this card on your radar because I truly think this card is going to be a good investment. The closer that we get to the Dark Magician support, you don't want to wait too long if you plan on investing in this, or if you're a competitive player, you might want to consider getting these now before you're paying $30-$40 per copy and you're like, oh, I need matching rarities. Well, guess what? You don't want to have to just break the bank. We're not trying to have rent money Dark Magician decks out here. Like, next we're going to talk about Magician Souls, because this, to my understanding, is the main card that Illusion of Chaos is going to search, because Souls puts Dark Magician in your graveyard for cost, or Dark Magician Girl, however you want to spin it. But I think this card is too cheap. I made like a smooth play on this card a long time ago. Like, Rarity Collection 2's been out like a year now or something like that. Yeah, these cards were like 15, 16 for the longest time. Man, I went through and I snatched up a ton of these. I can't even remember now. I think I got like 8 or 9 of these. I know I had 3 for myself because Dark Magician is my favorite card. When I came back in the game in 2020, that was the first deck I built, not knowing anything about competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! So, I mean, Magician Souls, like, I sold, like, our shop, we offloaded these for $29.99, and this was like weeks ago. So, to be frank with you, I don't think this price is gonna sit still at all. I think it's only just gonna get worse, especially the more time that goes by. People are gonna need 2 to 3 of these. I mean, I could see the deck only playing one, especially if it plays 3 illusion, but I mean, hey, I don't think this price is going to sit here, so I think it's worth picking souls up now. Then we're going to start talking about the Dark Magician arts. So we're looking at the 6th art here. This card is just ridiculously tanking. So what happens when people start, all the other arts or the ones that they want are getting too expensive? They're going to go to the alternatives. They're going to go to these arts because they're like, oh, you know what? I like this art too. I'll settle with this one, but this is only $15. Well, guess what? When more people that start doing that, the closer we get, all these Dark Magician cards are going to start going up. Like, I feel like it's just the trend of the market. That's just what happens. People say, oh man, the Arcana artwork is $100 now. Oh my God, like, what am I going to do? Let me look at the next art that I like best. Boom. They looking at this and they're like, oh, if this is one of the artworks they like, they're sliding through. And the closer we get, more people are going to be snatching these up. It only got 6 pages, which does seem like quite a bit for a QCR. But trust me, guys, all these Dark Magician artworks are going to appreciate like fine wine. And like, let's look at this. Honestly, if I'm being real, this is the one that I like the least. But this ain't even the cheapest one out of the rarity collections. Like, this one's like $17. Man, people are already coming through for this one. Like, in the Dark Magician deck, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they play 3 Dark Magicians. So think about it. People want the matching rarities. They're coming through. Oh, yeah, one quantity all across the board. And then you got some people with multiples. Boom, boom, boom. We're just sliding through, eliminating listings left and right. The more people that come in and buy a playset. And then we got the 8th artwork. I think this might be the cheapest one or equal to the first one we looked at, but hey, it's the same thing. I just wanted to take a look at these Dark Magician cards with you because we're going to revisit this in a few weeks or so and just kind of just pay attention and you'll see what I'm talking about. And then we got the Bandai, the manga style Dark Magician artwork. I'm so glad this came as a QCR, even though I invested in the Battle of Chaos versions. Yo, they're still sitting strong, the Battle of Chaos. I ain't even gonna look it up, but they've been sitting pretty strong. I don't feel like I took a huge L on it for real, but this artwork right here, yo, is my favorite, if I'm just being honest with you. And look at this. I mean, numbers don't lie. This card is $37. Like, that's just crazy, yo. Crazy, man. It's got 7 pages. And the lowest listing is almost $37, yo. If you ask me, this is a card worth picking up. Call me crazy, but the closer we get, this card could appreciate very nicely. The fact that it has 7 pages and it's the lowest price is $37, man, what could this price cap at? Man, let's look. $100? Man, I think this is easily gonna be like a $50 card. I think it's gonna do way better than that though. It might hit like 80 probably. And then we're looking at the Arcana Dark Magician. This used to be my favorite until I learned about the manga version. Look at this. We're looking at a near mint first ed for almost $44, man. This is what I think the last one we looked at is going to hit probably in a few weeks if I had to guess. But this one, man, this seems to be the most popular one. Everybody loves this. My old favorite Dark Magician. But I mean, for good reason. The artwork is clean, and they don't have enough printings of this version. So, I mean, they have the Speed Duel, and there's another one, but that's it. It was smart of them to make a QCR of this. And look, it's got 7 pages. This is another one that will appreciate like fine wine. Trust me. Let's see what this card could cap at. Okay, it's like 130 with shipping. Not the craziest, but I do think this card could possibly hit triple digits. And then the last one we're going to look at is the new artwork of Dark Magician. Yo, the new artwork. So, if I'm not mistaken, this is only in quarter century secret rare. It only has one printing. I think this is the one that could possibly, there's no crystal ball here, but it might have the most potential. Why? Because this is artwork is the most scarce. And look at this. It fell off a cliff on the chart. Like this card on pre-sale, $60, and then boom, we're looking at right now lowest listing. Man, it's like 33. Yo, that's a steal if you ask me. You know, if you need Dark Magician and you like this artwork, slide through now. Why not? I thought that was the last one, but we got to take a look at the one at Bonanza, on Bonanza too. The one that came in Bonanza, this is expensive, y'all. This is the one that came out in LOB, the artwork. Man, this is, look at that. When this card gets too expensive, people are going to start resorting to other options. This card is going to break $100 easy. It only has one page, literally 6 listings. Man, this card is going to break $100. If you're a ballsy kind of guy, you know, slide through and snatch up one of these. You're only going to help the market appreciate this card. Yo, this is crazy. We got to talk about the Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, though, from Bonanza as well. Because this card, look at that. This card was like $17. And now this card, it's doubled. It literally doubled, y'all. This card is like $33, $34 for this. Yo. I don't know if this card is even going to be played in the deck. It might. I don't really know much about the competitive side of things. But, yo, if this card does become a staple in the Dark Magician deck, I don't see why not. I mean, this card could really be like a 60, 70 piece. Think about it. Like, it's only got 3 pages. People only need one of this. I mean, it could settle around 50, but I for certainly don't think it's going to stay here. That's just me. So, for our halftime report, you know, I just got to take a moment and say thank you guys for watching. You know, here at Grandpa's Treasure Shop, we just want to provide the most value to you guys as a community. I mean, we always are indulged in market watches anyway. So why not share that with the community? That's how we see it. So, you know, if you guys like this kind of content, please drop a like, comment, subscribe. It really does help us out a lot more than you know, especially with the YouTube algorithm and the growth of us on YouTube. You know, we just want to provide value to you guys. You know, we like engaging with the community. We're going to start doing lives eventually. We're not there yet because we have our hands in too many things, but we are going to do lives for you guys because we love talking to you. So yes, without further ado, we're just going to keep things moving along here. We're going to talk about the Dark Magician artworks. Man, look at this. We're talking about Dark Magician Art A. This is the hottest version of Dark Magician. Look at this chart, man. I remember on when we had Bonanza a few days early, this card moved for, it was like, I think 150, and at the time I think the price was only like $70. Like, yo, that just goes to show people love Dark Magician Girl. If Dark Magician wasn't my favorite card, man, I'm saying, kind of simping for Dark Magician Girl, you know. But no, really, like, look at this. It's triple digits, yo. Triple digits. Like, this card, you cannot get this card less than $100. And that's somebody with 0 sales. So if we're being realistic, this card, you paying like $104, $105 after tax and everything. Man, this card has so much potential. Bonanza QCRs are scarce. What could this card cap at? Man, especially if this card is heavily played in Dark Magician as a one-of. Look at this. $200 for this card if it caps. Yo, honestly, if I'm looking at it from a seller's market, I'm offloading this card right now, quick in a hurry. But I'm trying to get a little more than this, if I'm being honest, because we all know this is gonna appreciate. We all know this is going to go up. Like, look at the chart. The charts don't lie. Man, I'm saying. But then we got B, Dark Magician Girl Art B. This card is also climbing Mount Everest right now. And $54. Like, this card was $54 and it's went up it's almost $10 in the last 3 months. That's not bad. The closer we get to Dark Magician support, this card is also going to appreciate very nicely. Some people that see the more expensive one and they're like, I don't like that artwork anyway. Let me go to the one I like. And they like this one. Like, let's say this is the one they like. Snatching them up, yo. People are going to be picky about their artworks when it comes to Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. Like, think about it. There's going to be so many fans that like this artwork over the other ones. And they're going to be sliding through. Like, what could this card cap at? 200. Yo, I think this is a card worth picking up. That's just me. It's not official financial advice, but that's just me. I think this is a steal, especially considering I think this card could be the next one to hit triple digits. Then we're going to talk about artwork C, y'all. This is the third most expensive one, and it's sitting around $44, $45. This one has tanked. Look at that. Man, let's look at the last no, we're on pre-sale. It was $50, okay? We're not too far from the pre-sale pricing. That's a good indicator for this card. It really is. Because think about it, on pre-sale, the card was what, $50? A lot of these pre-sale prices when rarity collections release end up being like $10 to $20, depending on the card. But the fact that this one is so close to its pre-sale pricing, and we're not even close to the Dark Magician support that's coming out, man, this card is probably gonna be one of the best flips you can get out of all of them. You getting this card for $44, and you telling me 6 months from now, the closer we get, and all these are like just getting scarcer and scarcer, we probably down to page 3 6 months from now. Man, look, that's an easy double play. That's crazy. And then we got to talk about the third art that came in Stampede. Honestly, I'm not too big on this one. That's just me. But look at the chart. It tanked. It tanked, yes. That means it has time to recover. There's so many people that's going to be sliding in for this one that don't like the other artworks and yada, yada, yada. And this has 8 pages. So, yo, I just got to tell y'all, considering this card has 8 pages and it's still around $30, that's a good indicator that this might be a good card worth picking up. Why? Because usually when a card has like 8 pages, this lowest listing is shekels normally. But the fact that it's so high, y'all, it's high. This card might be a good pickup, if I'm being frank with you. And then we gotta talk about the 10s. The Dark Magician Girl from the 10s is this artwork is my favorite artwork. I was always a Yugi fan. Yugi played this version. So many people are just like me. Look at this. This card is still less than $10. Man, it has 10 pages. And this card less than 10. Remember what I just said on the last Dark Magician Girl? When she's 30 and there's 8 pages? Look at this. There's 10 pages of this. So you only add 2 more and she's less than $10. Man, I already snatched a few of these up months ago. I came through like a bandit and snatched up like 4 of these things because I'm like, you know what? I want mine, and then I want a play set just for the market. And I'm still chilling with my girl here. Yo, if you anything like me, I think this is another good option to pick up. even if it's for playing or investment purposes. Yo, this is a good one. But we can't leave this one out. I know we moved on from Dark Magician, but this one is too cheap too. But look, this was around $5. What? Let me go back. This card was close to $5 like months ago, and now, yes, it is slowly creeping up because this is the one Yugi played. Sure, it's from the 10s, but yo, this is from Dueling Heroes 10s 2023. Man, I think this is a good one too. That's just me. And then let's look at Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight from Bonanza. This card skyrocketed. Yo, this is climbing mountains over here. Yo, pre-sale pricing was $25. Then it went up. It went up to like $44.69, and then it tanked. This card hit like $25 again, and then let's look. This card is like $57, yo. 3 pages only. Only 3 of these things. I personally think this card could hit triple digits, but I'm personally not snatching it. That's just me. Only because this is a one of. There's only 3 pages. So yes, do I think it's a good investment? More than likely is what I'll say. But man, yo, I'm not trying to break even if it does stay around this price. So that's why I wouldn't chance it. But I do think this could be a triple digit card, possibly. And then let's look at Dark Burning Magic from Quarter Century Stampede, man. Look at this card. I don't know if y'all remember Jesse Cotton. Shout out to him. Him and Team Sam, shout out to him too. They released like a duel, like a competitive like Dark Magician. I think it was versus Blue Eyes or something. And I didn't even watch the full video. My bad, guys. But I clicked on it because I wanted to see what kind of Dark Magician build Jesse Cobb was running. This was before they announced there was support coming. In the version that he played, if memory serves me right, he was playing this card. And if one of the best players in the game is playing this in a deck that he's trying to make competitive, what happens when we do get the support, y'all? This card right here, in my opinion, is a good play. You paying $4, maybe 5 tops for this card. Honestly, I think it might be worth at least picking up one. Just get yourself some exposure. If this card is $20, $30 down the line, you came up. But honestly, at this price, you might be worth just picking up a playset. That's just me. And then Soul Servant, this card is nuts. It skyrocketed also because this is one of the main central pieces of Dark Magician. This card was sitting around 31. Let's look at the pre-sale prices. On pre-sale, this card was $12.37. Now look. Man, shout out to the people that picked this up early. Man, they done came up. They're rich. Yo, this card is well over $50. This card right here, I think this card could hit like 70, 80. That's just me. It feels terrible having to drop this on this card. But what happens when Dark Magician out here running around competitive in the meta? Like, man, this card gonna be hard to get. I'm telling you, it feels bad picking it up at this price. It really does. But you don't want to wait. You really don't want to wait. Like, it's proven. This card already like 10x or 30x or whatever. This card has potential to keep going. This chart is going to keep going up. It's probably going to go down a little bit and then boop, back up even higher. Like, that's just me. These cards are scarce. This came in Bonanza, y'all. What do we keep talking about? Bonanza QCRs. Those are some of the best QCRs that you can possibly get. And then we got to talk about Dark Burning Magic, another one. Yo, this is a card, maybe. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Whether it's played or not, let's be honest. There's a lot of Yu-Gi heads out here that try to be competitive but aren't the most competitive, but love the nostalgia side more. This card is going to get bought up. That's just me. Whether it's played competitively or not, I still think this card is going to get bought up. Paying $5 just to get one, I think it would be worth it. Then we got to look at the Eye of Timaeus, y'all. Yo. If we look at even the common right now is money. And this is a quarter century secret rare. Not even just that, a clean quarter century secret rare. Man, this card is beautiful. And look at this, $11. What happens if this is a 3 of in the deck? What happens? Like, I'm just saying. This card only got 4 pages. If this card is played at 3 in the deck, we can expect this price to be $50. It's probably going to be like a soul servant. Let's be real. Man, so I think this is going to be a good pickup. People probably going to pick up more than one of these if they're going to commit to it. Let's be real. And then we got Apprentice Illusion Magician, yo. This card too cheap. Let's be honest. For what this card does, a lot of people that are hyped for Dark Magician support, a lot of these people don't realize how good this card actually is for the deck. It's a free special summon. You get to pitch a card, Soul Servant, Dark Magician, whatever you want in the grave for cost. Maybe it's not cost. I don't play competitive. Nonetheless, this also adds Dark Magician. But not only that, the best part, like during damage calculation with another Dark Spellcaster, this is like a collude. This card is crazy, yo. So, when people realize this card is literally collude for Dark Magician and a free special summon, man, this card is going to get ate up. This is going to be one of my best picks of the day today. And we're going to revisit these words that I said this. To pick this card up is too cheap. And with that being said, I'm going to move on to the Dark Magicians. This card is also too cheap. This card is a main card in the Dark Magician deck. Like, look, why is this card less than $20? Like, you would think this card would be at least $20. I think this card is easily a $30 to $50 play. That's just me. Pre-sale prices. What was that? 22? Man, this is going to go over pre-sale pricing. Trust me. I'm telling you, we do this, man. Look what happened to Red Eye's Dark Dragoon. This card, it started coming down. Yeah. But look, man, let's go back to a year ago. Card was $25. Started going down like the economy. Oh, hit $20. And then look, $54. Yeah, if we're looking at reputable sellers here, man, we're looking at a 50 play for Red Eye's Dark Dragoon. Shout out to the people that picked these up early, because most Dark Magician heads are gonna pick up 2 to 3 of these. Let's be real. Like, they're not just gonna grab one unless it's just a money thing. Like, only 4 pages of this card. The fact that people could pick up multiple quantities of this, you might call me crazy. I think this right here is one of the best investments you can make in Dark Magician. This card has triple digit potential. This card could easily hit a hundo. Out of all the cards we've talked about, this one is probably the easiest one to hit a hundo. It's Red Eye's Dark Dragoon, y'all. Dark Magician gets widely played. Think about it. This card's over a hundo. And then we're going to talk about Dark Magician Circle from the Megatons. It appears this is the most expensive one. You're looking at, if we're light play, like $5. If we're talking reputable sellers, it's like $401. Yeah, this card, look at the chart. That's what I care about. So we're going to go back a year ago. This card was $2. And then it started going up to $3, nothing crazy, back down to 2 some. And then we get, how we get here? Dark Magician support coming. Now, I don't even know, like, this card is all right in the deck. I'm a Dark Magician fan, and yes, I've played the deck before, and yada, 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 but I mean, realistically, and like I said, don't come at me for this, but I don't play competitive, so but I think you might only need one of these for the deck. If you do end up needing three, this card could be like 20-30 bucks. But if this card is a one of, it might hit like 10-15. Regardless, I think this might be a good pickup. It's only got 3 pages. If this card starts getting bought out, what's it cap at? Man, we're looking at, yeah, kind of what I was thinking, like close to 15. Yo, another good one for you. But then we got Secrets of the Dark Magic. All right, this is one that's heavily slept on. Why is it slept on? Bro, you can get this card for less than $1. Less than $1, y'all. Yo, this card has 12 pages. This card has not been mass printed. I'm pretty sure it has what, like a comment or something too? But this card is scarce. I mean, 12 pages might say otherwise, but what happens when people start sliding in and picking up 3 of these things? If the deck don't end up playing Timaeus, they're probably going to play 3 of these and call it a day because it's searchable. Like, yo, this card, a rare, could easily hit like $10 or more. Yo, if you trying to like double up on this, man, I think this is another solid option for you. All right, the time has come for the last and most sauce card of the day. Bond between teacher and student. This card has 1 printing. Only 1 printing. And thank you all who made it to the end of the video because I saved the best for last. And yes, I think you should pick this card up. Call me crazy, man, it feels terrible dropping $20 on this. Listen, if you control a Dark Magician, special summon a Dark Magician girl from your hand, deck, or graveyard, then you can set 1 Dark Magic attack or Dark Burn. Man, all these cards are cards that we just talked about in this Market Watch. Like, yo, I'm telling you, this is the sauce card. When I was talking about these other cards, I didn't even want to bring up this card because I can't spoil the surprise for you guys. I'm just here to give you value, and I appreciate the ones who stay to the end. But this card, look at this. It's very scarce too. This card only has 4 pages, and this card was released in Dupo, which was what? I can't even remember. I think that was like what, 2019, 2020 or something like that. Nonetheless, this card right here is the most sauce card out of all the ones that we talked about. Why? This is the one Jesse Cotton was playing before they even announced Dark Magician support. When he built that Dark Magician deck on YouTube. Yo, go watch that video if you can find it. But listen, if this card is played at like, I don't know, it might even be a one-of because it's searchable with Illusion of Chaos and Soul Servant. Man, yo, this card right here, man, I'm telling you, listen, go pick at least one of these up. Get you some exposure. You telling me if you're an investor and you can't drop $20 on one card that could easily be like a 50 play, man, I'm saying. Yes, I just want to thank all of you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I enjoy doing these market watches for you guys. We did talk about a lot of Dark Magician shenanigans today, but for good reason, because like I said, I'm only here to give you guys value with the work that we already put in. The only difference is we're recording it. But yeah, once again, thank you all for watching. If you like this content, make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe. It really does help us with the YouTube algorithm so you can see our future videos. But with all that being said, Brett here with Grandpa's Treasure Shop, going back to the Shadow Realm.